Hi, it's me, it's Quinn. I have a lot of books to burn through, so let's get started. I posted this on Instagram. I didn't do an initial video, but I've been participating in the Medievalathon hosted by Holly Hart's Books. I'll link her video and profile down below. I've been doing very badly at the Medievalathon. I have read a book that has yellowed over time, which I read Nancy Drew, The Ringmaster's Secret, which was about Nancy solving a conspiracy at a circus that revolved around the ringmaster, and it's wild reading a Nancy Drew book as an adult because she has to run things either by her boyfriend or her dad for permission, and I get that she's 16, so the dad thing kind of makes sense, but he also kind of just lets her do whatever, and I'm just like, what father would let a 16-year-old just drop everything and fly to London? Okay, so that was that book. And then I also finished a book with a shiny cover, and I kind of cheated at this. I was going to read Beloved by Toni Morrison, but I had to switch it out for I Want to Be Where You Are by Christina Forrest because I had it checked out from the library and it became non-renewable, so I had to book it and read that. And it was only a shiny cover because of the library binding, but I'm counting it. It was a very good read. It was a very cute love-to-hate romance story. It's a YA novel. The main character's a ballerina. It's a fun time. I recommend it, and I'll hopefully be posting a review when I catch up on all my reviews. So the books I have left for the Medievalathon that I'm not gonna finish, I'm probably going to keep these on my TBR but push them aside because I also want to do other athons. For the book with a character fighting for the crown, I went the easy route and chose A Game of Thrones by George R.R. Martin. I haven't read these yet, and I've been wanting to, and I thought now was as good a time as any to put it on my TBR. Next is a book with a dragon on the cover, and I chose Dragonflight by Anne McCaffrey. The dragon's barely on the cover, but there's still a dragon on the cover, and I forget what it's about. I read this in the 7th grade. I know there's a country or a planet called Pern, and I think this centers around the future ruler of Pern and her getting a dragon, if I remember correctly. Feel free to correct me in the comments on that one. Next is Read a Thick paperback, and I chose Carney Punk, and it's edited by Rachel Kane. It's a book of short stories by a bunch of different authors revolving around the carnival and the circus, and they just have a punkish tone, so Carney Punk. And they're pretty gothic. I saw in the summary one has to do with vampires, so that'll be fun. Next is a book with red on the dust jacket, and I chose Lucky Us by Amy Bloom. Honestly, I couldn't tell you what this is about. I think it's about two sisters traveling cross country for some reason. If I ever do review videos and get to this book, I guess you'll find out then. Next is a book with something pointy on the cover, and I chose Bloodlines by Mariah Hayes. This is her debut book. It's about I think a family of werewolves that are also the rulers of the land, but there was an uprising and the queen, when she was pregnant, went into hiding, and the daughter just at first had no idea who she was, and it's her coming to terms with that and fighting for her heritage. Next up is a book with assassins, and this one was hard because I was trying to use books I already had at my disposal, whether I'd already checked them out from the library or they were sitting on my shelves, and I don't really have books with assassins. So the closest I got was V for Vendetta by Alan Moore, and I'm actually reading it right now, so hopefully I'll finish it by the end of the month. But it's alt-universe Britain, fascist Britain, and V is anti-fascist, and he's an anarchist, and he tries to take down the British government. That's the gist of it. There's a lot more to it. Next is a book with elves in it, and I chose The Hobbit by J.R.R. Tolkien. I actually had to double check that there were actually elves in this one, because I couldn't remember because it's been a while since I've read it. There are, according to the Wikipedia page on it. And then finally, this one was equally as hard as The Assassins. This is a book with mercenaries in it, And I don't, like, just like I don't have books with assassins in it, I don't have books with mercenaries in it, but the closest I got was The Secret Agent by Joseph Conrad, and I think V for Vendetta and The Secret Agent could have been interchangeable, because they're both vaguely accurate. This is actually about a terrorist attack, so now that I've gotten that out of the way, I now have the Mythathon to look forward to. I decided to go with Team Hades, just like Bassie did, because I just like the hellish aesthetic that is associated with Team Hades. So here's the TBR for Team Hades. The group for Team Hades is also the fire sign, and it's like Read with Cindy, and for the group book she chose A Curse So Dark and Lonely. I don't have it because I put it on hold at the library, so I'll be getting that hopefully August 1st, and I'll probably be starting with that one because it's the biggest. I forgot to mention that the Mythathon is hosted by Bowties with Books, and then there are people co-hosting and being in charge of the different signs / gods that reflect the prompts, and that's where Read with Cindy comes in. I have linked Bowties and Books profile and their video down below, and I've also linked Read with Cindy's profile and video down below as well, and I've also linked Bassie's video for the Mythathon as well. And then the next is a hotly anticipated read, because Hades is the god of fire, the god of hell, and I chose The Adventure Zone Murder on the Rockport Limited. I hotly anticipated this book, and everyone I know who is a fan of the Adventure Zone and or the McElroy family also hotly anticipated it. Next, because Hades owned an invisible cap, Bowties and Books gave the prompt of reading a book that's with a protagonist that's invisible to society, and I chose There We Go, Flowers for Algernon by Daniel Keyes. And it's because the main character, before he gets surgery to up his intelligence, has below average intelligence, and I think anybody who doesn't have like average brain functioning, whether it's intelligence or anything else, is invisible to society, so that's why I chose this book. Hades had a chair of forgetfulness, and so the next prompt Bowties and Books gave us is a book that you have shelved for a very long time, and I chose One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest by Ken Kesey because this has literally been on my TBR shelf since I was 17 years old. I just never got around to it. And then finally, since Hades does not like to let people leave his kingdom, Bowties with Books gave the prompt of a main character that escapes an immoral rule, and I chose The Giver by Lois Lowry because that's really the premise of the whole book and the whole series. And I'm real excited. It's a lot of books to read, and it's a little overwhelming, but I'm excited, and I already said that, but I'll talk to you guys later. Bye! Thank you for watching. Here's a video of my cat cuddling with my foot. Please like and subscribe and comment anything you have on the Mythathon or the Medievalathon. I'd love to hear what your thoughts are and what you plan on reading or what you've had read. Once again, talk to you guys later. Bye.